Greetings, Earthlings. It's a wonderful day on the planet Earth. And today we're going to talk about something that's going to help us when we go back to school. Because we've been off for quite some time, but the most important thing is that you go back with that positive energy and wanting to learn new things. And right now, we realize that learning and listening goes together. So today we're going to talk about listening. So I want you to put your hands on your chin, on your beard. Now I know some of you, I'm sure some of you third graders or you fourth graders grew a beard over the break that we've had. But if not, just put your hand on your chin and ask yourself this question: am I a good listener? I want you to think about that. And the reason why I said ask yourself is because we have to learn to be honest with ourselves. A lot of times people start lying to themselves, saying they can do something that they really can't do. So instead of saying you can do something that you can't do, you should work at it and become better. So again, put your hand on your chin and ask yourself this question: am I a good listener? And if not, we're going to talk about listening, how you can become a good listener. Because the most important thing we have to realize that you learn more from listening than you do from talking. Now I'm going to let's repeat that with me. You learn more from listening than you do from talking. Because let's look at there's four parts of your body that you use to listen. People say, four parts of your body. Yeah, they start talking about mouth and nose and things like that. But it's four parts of your body that you need to use to become a good listener. First one is the ears, right? You listen to sound. You hear it right now. I'm outside, so I hear the birds singing. I hear a few of my dogs sometimes are in there barking. But you hear sounds. But there's a difference between hearing sounds and listening. Because those sounds, like you hear of a car screeching down the road, to get out the road. But we need to use our ears to hear sounds. And as you're listening to those sounds in the classroom, you're looking at the teacher so you can hear what they're saying. But you have to focus on them with your eyes and open up those ears so you can listen. Now, and the next one, that part of your body that you use, is your eyes. Because you have to stay focused on the teacher. You can't look around, all around the room or on the floor. Now, you could hear your teacher's voice, but are you actually listening? That is a key thing. It's a difference between listening and hearing. So I am sure when your parents call you sometime, you hear their voice, but are you paying attention and listening to what they're saying? Because they'll say, do you hear me? Yeah, I hear you, but you're not listening. And the third part is your brain. You use your brain to be a good listener because in turn, when you hear something that you don't understand, your brain is your computer. The original computer is your brain because it holds a lot of material. And if you're listening and paying attention to what the teacher says, and they say something that you don't, that doesn't compute, I don't know what that means. You raise your hand. Excuse me, I don't understand that. Could you please help me? Because you were listening. Now, I'll give you an example of using those three parts before I go to the last part that we're talking about. Now, if I would pick up this yellow folder, now, if you were listening, your eyes see that it's not yellow. You hear the words yellow, your eyes see it's not yellow, and your brain compute, hey, that ain't yellow. That's what? Red. So then in turn, what should you be doing? You could raise your hand and say, excuse me, Mr. Ellis, that's a red folder. That's not yellow. And that's what happens in the classroom when the teacher says something that you don't understand. Then you raise your hand and form a conversation, a dialogue about that. But the most important thing, the other part of your body that you need to use is your heart. Because you have to want to listen. You have to want to learn. And right now, this is the greatest time of your life. I think I've told you before, no matter if I give you something, a toy or something, you could break that, use something to eat, you'll eat that there. But that knowledge that your teacher gives you is something that you'll have for the rest of your life. But in order to get that, you have to become a good listener. Because remember, you learn more from listening than you do from talking. But it gets back down to wanting to learn. You have to want that. It's not something that we can, it's just an old saying, and I'm sure some of you might have heard it, and I guess Mattel's a little older, maybe you didn't, but you can lead a horse through the water, but you can't make him drink. You have the greatest, we have great teachers. We get ready to combine with McKinley School. We're going to have a lot of great teachers there to give you some knowledge, some wisdom, a beautiful present. But if you're not ready to accept that present, then in turn it's going to be a problem. So we want you to be able to want to learn. Come back to school in a couple months, or a couple weeks. I'm not sure about the time thing, way things are changing. But when you come back to school with that positive attitude in your heart that I'm here to learn something new, to improve my life, because it's important. It is extremely important to come back with a good, positive attitude so we can learn and work together. Think about, imagine if you had a classroom of 15 or 20, 25 students that are classmates, and everybody is there to learn, supporting each other, asking questions, working together. It could be a great time, boys and girls. You haven't been out seeing some of your friends, so it's important to get back, but come back ready to listen and learn with them. Because we talked about, like I said, you ask yourself that question, am I a good listener? The most important thing is to be honest with yourself. Because if you start to lie to yourself, saying you can do something that you really can't do, who are you hurting? Because and remember in classrooms, I've asked you guys this question before. How many, put your hands back on your chin. Have you ever sat in class and the teacher was talking and you sat there and you did not have a clue of what she or he was talking about? But you sat there and smiled, gave him a great big smile and said, boy, I sure hope this lady don't call on me. I don't know what she's talking about. We can't. You need to ask questions. If you don't know what's going on, you got to get involved and find out what's happening there. And you do that by asking questions. But you have to listen to find out what questions you need to ask. And if you don't not hear or understand on Monday and you wait till Friday and ask for some help, as soon as she says something on Monday that you don't understand, that's when you raise your hand. And another thing, when they talk about when your teacher is going to, let's say, we're going to review the test today. We get ready to review the math test. We get ready to review some reading. What we're going to do a test here. Do you start playing around? Do you look on the floor or look around? Or are you focusing in on the teacher? Because right now, we're getting ready to go over the test. So everything that's going to be on that test, we're going to review it. A teacher has never given a student a test. You say, you know something? I'm going to see how dumb these kids are today. I'm just going to make them all look dumb. I'm going to give them something they never had before. No teacher does that. Everything that's on your test has been reviewed and brought up in your classroom. Were you listening? Because if you were listening, your review is just that. You're reviewing what you already know. But if you don't understand it when it's doing that review, that's the time to ask questions. I sit there and smile and say, I don't know what this lady talking about. I ain't never heard of that stuff before. Right now, this is the time to ask questions so you can learn, so that light bulb can come on. that you will be a positive and have a productive day. But it will start with you being a positive and a productive listener. Remember, you learn more from listening than you do from talking. All right, so you guys have a great day. Maybe go outside and listen to the birds, go for a walk, do some exercises. Hopefully we're reading some books there. Mr. Ellis is reading a book too. Maybe I can share that with you sometime when we come back to school there. What I've read and what I've learned over the summer. I've been doing some reading and watching videos and trying to talk to a few people. I have some friends that I've been calling on the phone, talking about our planet, our world. But the most important thing is I'm still trying to learn too. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in a month or so. Remember, I love you. And remember, this is our planet that we have to work and share together. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, Earthlings.